going on, everybody? We are back at it. It is your boy, Critical, Crowdsurf Radio Productions. Yeah, it's been a long time coming. We just trying to get the stream optimized and making sure that we're able to display on every platform well. It's actually more difficult than I thought, but we're here right now, so hopefully you guys are getting it and hearing it. Finally set up the restream. I'm trying to get YouTube shorts going as well as TikTok going. For some of you that might be in the field already, you know that there's a challenge with that, especially when you're using a Mac when it comes to TikTok. And I definitely need further subscribers on my YouTube channel, Crowdsurf Radio Productions. Please look that up if you're watching from Twitch or anything like that. We do need those subscribers to run it up, so that way we could get the live functionality for YouTube Shorts. So just trying to build on that one by one. Right now, we got Reason 12 pulled up. Going to do a quick beat section, and then what we'll end up doing probably later sometime today is doing a mastering tutorial. But definitely want to get on here. Going to get into some type of cadence, trying to figure out what that looks like. But for the viewers out there, take the time, add me on the different accounts. We also have an Instagram account called Crowdsurf Radio. So please reach out to us on all platforms. Like, comment, subscribe, put some comments in there, and let's have some fun. Already got a baseline started off. I got my key. You guys can't see it, but eventually I'll get another camera where we'll go ahead and do cuts of the piano here and have it on there so you guys can see as well. But till then, we'll keep it as is. So let's go ahead and go to studio mode. Let's make sure that we have everything good to go. It looks like we do. Turn studio mode off and let's get it going. Go ahead and mute on the microphone. I'll hop in and out. This is when I'm talking. So basically, I started. Started with the bass line. That's what I came up with. So we'll go ahead and take it there real quick, and we'll play it back. Put a snare in there. Do want to get my kicks going first before we hear this track, because the kicks are gonna make it really what it is. 92 BPM on this track right here. Kind of wanted to take it back a little old school. We were listening to some Too Short last night, and with that 4th of July. So happy 4th of July to everybody out there that had a chance to celebrate that. We're listening to Too Short last night, and it was just made me remember, some good times that we had, and the beats that were back then were a little bit different. So kind of wanted to take it back. It's kind of hard. Oh, I didn't want to do that. Edit, undo that. Let's put that one in. Ooh, that's nice. I'm gonna go boom. I'm gonna dial this up, see what it sounds like together. So we'll start there. Layering the kicks is cool. I'm not going to go through any of the mastering process. I like to get the vibe out first. I know some producers out there will like EQ the kicks and stuff like that and make it sound thicker, which I will do eventually. But for this process, if I'm trying to get, the creativity out, I'm going to bypass a lot of that. thinking a piano. Let's see where we go with this one. Got a couple different options for piano right now. This is the Waves piano. I like this one. I use quite a different versions. Reason has its own piano, so I'll run through a few of those because I know people have been wanting to see those lately. So I got the Radical keys, which is pretty popular. Let's see, we're gonna do the Radical piano. We'll go through a couple presets with that, and then we'll bring out. Um, let's see. Actually, this East to West is actually pretty legit. It has some pretty good sounds on the East to West. If you guys haven't had an opportunity to check out East to West, they definitely have a lot of good sounds that you guys could get out of it. So let me pull that over here. It is a VST, so it's popping up on my other screens. If you guys see me looking back and forth, that's what I'm doing. I got the EW Goliath sound bank on this one, and honestly, I'm probably gonna look into more sound banks by East to West because when I'm going over these sounds, which I'll play a few, you guys can hear. I'm just really impressed with the quality they have. So I'll play a couple different pianos so you guys can see if I click on that. So yeah, some good sound. Obviously, that's the original. Piano string 3. Pretty hard actually. So pretty hard. So a lot of good stuff in here. Basses sound nice and warm. They got some vintage organs, which is pretty cool. Want to do that down south type, Houston, Texas, some anything like that. You got some good organs in there. I think the modular wheel works pretty well with it as well. Smooth. So that's the East to West banks. Like I said, I'll probably expand on those. Let's go ahead and take it back to the American pop piano. This is a Reason Radical piano instrument that's available in Reason already. I think with the newer versions, I think at the time when I first got it, you had to actually purchase it. So, but let's see. It's got some good sounds in it. Let's see. What I like about this one is a lot of the sounds sound different. They're not all your typical piano sounds, so that's pretty cool. But if you need like a grand piano, a nice clean sounding one if that's what you're looking for. And then like I was saying, this is the Grand Rhapsody. Let me pull it over as well. This is a plugin by Waves, so highly recommend if you guys are into producing the Waves plugin. I think they have a subscription based plugin program where you could purchase it. I think you could do monthly or yearly, but you could get all the Waves plugins activated on your product. So this is a really good one. It comes with it. They have what I like about this one. You could change the mics. You could add delays. You could add a couple different ones. And really get different. So you can really get some nice sounds out of this one. So I like it, and everything's in context. So it just depends on what you're really going for. But super glad that I have it. It's my kind of go-to stuff. And I'll show you the last one I use, which is pretty cool. If I go to instruments and let's check out my let's see, Arturia. So Arturia has a decent VST, the Piano V3. I'll pull that one up for you guys to see. It's very similar to the Waves one, slightly different sounds. But from a piano standpoint, I figure with these plugins that I currently have, I could pretty much get whatever sound that I'm looking for. So I kind of go ahead and do that. But it's very clean. So those are all the pianos you have. You have plenty of options there. But like I said, getting back to this beat, I'll be honest with you, I'm just gonna start a whole new beat over because not feeling it. Sometimes that's what happens, you know what I mean? So for you producers out there, you got up and cover beat makers, and sometimes you just get a beat going and you scrap the whole thing. I've done that several occasions. Um, it doesn't mean anything. You'll have some of your top producers, that'll do the same thing. They'll start a project and then just not feeling it, so they'll just switch it up. So nothing wrong with that. Let's go ahead and do it. But if I'm looking for some quick inspiration, I might grab. Let's do something. Show you guys this player feature. So if you guys aren't familiar with Reason, they got a couple different things that help to create creative vision per se. I'm gonna add this what's called a chord sequencer right now. And bottom line, what this basically does is maps out chords for you. So if I clear this, right now it's connected to the Piano V3, so we could go ahead and go to. If I go ahead and play it, if I go to piano, select that on the record, it'll start playing chords, right? So I'm gonna go. They got the New York Cha Cha. Let's see what that sounds. And we'll go to this chord E. Clear that. So really, right there, you have a couple chords that just helps you get to that place a little quicker. So if I do that. So boom, you got a little chord progression there. I'm gonna speed this up. I kind of want to go like maybe 145 BPM. Might just keep it something like that. Like that. Just some smooth. Alright. So I got the BPM going. I'm gonna start this up and run my click track a little bit higher so I can get the temp. Might want to change that. Let me do that since I didn't. That's pretty funny. Let me change that real quick. I'm going back to my claps. I'm gonna take that out because obviously that's too fast for the track. I don't want like a super techno-y vibe. So I'm just gonna get rid of that. I don't know where the hell my kicks are. I must have put them in the hi-hats or something. Let's see. Sure did. So for me, what I like to do, I always put my kicks, my hi-hat. So you can see I got a hi-hat track here. Hi-hat track. Then I got a clap track. And then I have a kick track. I keep them separate, and then they all run through my drum bus. And then from my drum bus, it goes into an all drum bus, and then from that, it comes to like a finalized version with the bass. So it gets bust out all the way down the line. But I really like to have the kicks, claps, and the hi hat separate. It allows me to have a lot more control over what I'm trying to accomplish. So with that being said, go ahead and get it. Alright, I kind of like that, but let me pull that thing up real quick. I like that, but there's some I want to switch real quick. Here we go. Let me see that. So, all right. After I was messing up on it, it's the opposite way. All right, here we go. The key was so played so low it didn't pick it up. So there we go. I'm gonna add that up. I'm just gonna put these all velocity high, so it's gonna sound high at first. But what I'm gonna go into the the actual player, I'm gonna get the timing and turn it up. So what this basically does in this plugin is when the chords are playing, obviously the timing on the each note is going to be slightly variance. So it'll be a little bit different from just playing it at the same time. So gives it kind of that humanized feel. And then from the velocity standpoint, I'm going to humanize the velocity. So that should technically give me different velocity as far as loudness of the key. So we'll see what that sounds like. Alright, so it didn't do too much there. What I'm going to go ahead and do is change it from this standpoint and drop those down. I don't want them as powering, but I do want them to go like that. So we'll go ahead and go there. Add the clap back in. So for this, I'm going to do halftime, so I'm just going to throw it on the 9. And that should cover that. So just taking down the length a little bit. I don't need it to be super long. Like I said, everything's in context. It's really what you're trying to go for in the track. So I'm going to go to a different kit bank. Let's do some Johnny Giuliano. Put a couple kicks in here. That one's kind of nice. Let's see what we can get out of this. I'm going to have to throw it to 32 on the pattern length. So it should be. just to give it some feel and some tempo, we're gonna add a hi hat in there. Let's go back to our hi hats. I'm not gonna change those. I'm just gonna grab here, check the hi hats. Let's do that with that one, and we will go. We're just gonna keep it simple on the hi hats for now. If we want to get all fancy, we'll do that later. I'll show you some quick little tips for that, but I'm just gonna keep it pretty simple with this one right now, and it's just gonna sound like this. All right, so then we got the little hi hats. Obviously, those are in context. We'll switch those up as we go. But now we need a bass line. So for the bass, I mean, I could really go to a few different options, but I mean, let's go Arcades for those that haven't got a chance to see Arcade. This is a good plugin. I mean, it's pretty much a cheat code. Honestly, you could really just make beats off of this and they'll be sounding super fly. I'm not gonna lie. So if you go to I'll just give you a quick little preview of it. If I went to let's down, let's download this one. It's a brand new one, but so basically, you have, endless amount of samples. You could go right there. But in this case, we're going to use instrument samples, which I like. I really like using this for this because you could get brand new samples right there. But we got Cone Pusher. This one's a pretty heavy bass. So we use Cone Pusher on this one. And then if we want to switch it up, like I said, we could always switch up anything at any time later on. But good thing with that. So I do have the chords up here with that player that we're using. We're going to go look at this player again. And this is really helpful. So when you're trying to make sure your keys are right, you can add a bottom note, right? And when you play it, there's your bass line, and we're gonna go. Actually, I'm gonna take this bottom root out since I don't need it anymore. Just kind of giving me the idea of where that bass lies, and we're gonna go. Get rid of that. I should fix that. All right, so there's that part of it. We got that going. So now what we're going to do is find that open. Actually, I'll go back to this east to west plugin and see if we can find a cool lead out of there. So it's Opus. Actually, maybe we do. That might be hard. Let's see if we can find a better. So we got blues organ. quantize, I have this at a 16th note, so technically the computer is going to put that in line with 16 notes. So it's going to basically any note that's not on the 16th, 1/16th of a metric, and then it'll adjust it to that. So we're going to listen to it back right now, but there's chances are to get the sound that I'm looking for, I'm going to have to take quantize off. So let's see what it goes. We'll see what it sounds like. Just like I thought, we're gonna have to take that off and redo it. So we'll do it with quantize out, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. See if I can hit it and play it on the first time. And I'm gonna turn the organ down, or at least put it in the pocket later on. But like I said, we won't do any of the mastering portion of it until we get the idea out there first. So. So now we just did it again. It sounds like I got it. We'll see, but we'll play it back and see if you could tell the difference just by hearing it like that. Depends on what you're going for that vibe. So use it by taste, and I like the way that sounded. It sounded to me, it sounded a lot better. So we're gonna keep that. And then what I'm going to do actually for the Opus, I'm gonna bring that down just a little bit, maybe like 2.4 decibels. And then I'm gonna show you something that I use when I'm doing stuff like this. So if I want to put some vocals in there now, which I really do want to put vocals in there, I'm going to use Output. Like I said, I could get samples out of that. But I'm going to use an effect right now and actually look up. It's called Keys. It's by the Waves plugin. So if I go to, I should probably just type it in. It'd be quicker, but let's see. Oh, found it. So Key Detector, this is very helpful plugin. That's what I'm saying with Waves. Spend the money, get your subscription. It's super helpful. Key Detector's right here. I'm gonna keep it open. With reason, you could click on this and keep it open, because sometimes if you click off of that screen, if I were to click onto this screen, it would disappear the key detector. So I'll just show you what I'm talking about. If I go here, see how that disappears. If you open it up, hit keep open, and you click over here, you'll still be fine. You can scroll and stuff like that. So that's a little helpful tip. But what I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna do the key detector to see what key this is in. So E minor, and we'll hit stop, and then it'll give you your alternate scales as well. So you got E minor, B minor, and C major. Obviously, between the chord progression, you're getting a little bit of everything. So the main one it determined was E minor. It made that determination for us. With that being said, I'm going to go into output right now, which is, let me create another track. Let me go instrument. output arcade, and I'm going to show you that sample. Um, we're going to do like a vocal sample on here, so let's see what we got. Go to search, samplers, we're in the sampler mode, and boom. So now we're here. We know our BPM's 145, so output will actually give you recommendations on your BPM that you should use for these. So we're gonna find one. Let's see if we can find one pretty. So this is pretty quick. Pieces of You. See what this sounds like. Open that up. We want to change our key note. Remember, we use that key detector to find out if this is going to be in key. So you could get some cool stuff being out of key, but sometimes not. So for this, I'm going to do E minor. I'm going to go up to here, boom, lock it in. Now all these samples in here are going to be the E minor, and we're going to see if we can play one.
Photos on the wall. Drink that red.
Yeah, so I'm not gonna go with that one. I could tell for where I'm going with this song, that's not gonna be good. So let me go. Let's go to some background noise. Let's do some Native Land. So we're going to do that one right there. Drag it down when I'm recording. It should pick it up. We'll see. Back here, copy it, paste, run it back twice. All right, there's some going on. So I know I just told you earlier I don't do any like mastering before, but on this one I'm going to do some mastering because I need to make some space. So let me just add a Pro Q3, definitely recommended EQ right here. I haven't upgraded yet to the 4. I haven't seen a real need to, but you know, anyway. So I'm gonna add this in right about here. Let's see, stereo placement. I'm gonna do mid, and so this is a helpful thing to look into. So I know that the piano is probably like my primary. So if I go back to piano V3, we open it up. Let's see, and let's see what it sounds like. So there's a lot of movement, 632 to 2 kilohertz. So 632 to 2 kilohertz. So I'm gonna go here. I'm already at the 6, so I'm fine right there. And then go right here. So that gives me my point. And then I'm going to do a dynamic range deduction. I'm gonna go pretty heavy. I'm gonna do like 6. Just scoot it over. And that should kind of get me covered for where I want to be. So, and that's all I'm gonna do. I'm not gonna do much, obviously, but now when those vocals come in, they're not gonna overpower the piano. They'll kind of sit a little bit further back in the mix. Let me unmute that so you guys can hear what that sounds like. So I got my layers. I'm liking where it's at. I'm starting to really hate those hi-hats. So what I'm gonna do for that real quick, um, gonna get rid of these two right here, and I'm just gonna keep it very simple. I'm gonna change this up a little bit, the velocity, and that's just gonna keep a. Where I'm gonna go with this one because there's just so many freaking leads you could do on that. So let me go to instruments up here. See what I want to use. I might have to just bring the VLab out. Give me quite a bit of options. Give me a bunch of options in one plugin. Let's pull that over, and we're gonna go to leads. Let's do it after smooth lead actually. I'll get another camera so you guys can see what I'm doing on the keyboard. I know it's kind of hard, but I'm not going to do any adjustments. But basically, I'm doing a slide. And then I'm doing a pitch bend down, and then I'm going to release it. Pitch bend's doing something weird right now, so I don't think I'm gonna get the. Yeah, I don't know why it's doing that. It's kind of weird. Well, it looks like I got an excuse to get a new keyboard, y'all. So I think that'll be something that I do. But basically, what's happening for those that can't see, well, you can probably see now. You see this pitch bend right here? I'm not doing anything to it, and it's jumping. As soon as I go down, it like, so something's going on with this pitch bend. sucks because I really want that sound, if you know what I'm saying. Try it if I can just. All right, cool. I think I got that where I want it to be. I'm going to definitely need to do something so it doesn't sound like so close in the mix. So for that, I'm going to use a Jason Joshua trick. I'm going to use a true verb. And is it a true verb? Yeah, it should be a true verb. And I am going to put that in the background. So I think I saved the preset. Let's see. I guess I don't have it saved anymore. Oh yeah, front to back. So I'm gonna do that, and we're gonna do direct off, and we're just gonna use the early reflections, and the size we're gonna go like that. I'm gonna put this over here. Put it further back. I'm going to use this Waves gemstone on top, which I like this plugin as well. And we're going to use the Neighbor. It's called the Neighbor, y'all. So my neighbors probably hate me right now playing this beat so loud. But so basically the door is going to do what it says. It's going to basically, if the more you add of this, it's going to make it seem like it's behind a door. And then we're going to add some distance. And then we're going to add a little bit of hall and then a slight bit of floor. And we'll see what that sounds like. Keep open. Y'all. Some simple. Obviously, I'm not going to go through a full breakdown, but just wanted to put a little quick one out there. Next time I go live, which might even be later on today, I'm gonna go over to a little bit more mastering, and we'll probably jump into another beat that's already previously made. We'll do a breakdown of that. But yeah, looking forward to seeing you guys out there. Please like, subscribe, and comment. Also, take a look at our YouTube channel. And don't get me wrong, we're just starting off, so I don't want to say like I have a ton of people on there, but the goal is to get the subscriber count up to at least 50 so we can start streaming on YouTube Live and also on TikTok. So until that time, stay posted, have a great one, and put any comments if you have any questions on anything you see. But other than that,